Hey everybody, it's lumber sale day. Or sell. Today I sell my lumber. And it's midwinter, that's the best time to sell wood. Get the highest price for it in the marketplace. So we're on no man's land. And here I have my own custom-made log holder. Because the other log holder, the only one in the game, causes a very, very terrible frame rate. Once you get, imagine the only other log holder in the mod hub, which is available in 3 different sizes, and I'm not talking for PC, I'm talking for console players, PlayStation, and Xbox players. We only have one available log holder because I've checked. There's no other ones that we have the option to choose from. And when we get too close, even if we're walking, it doesn't matter if we're in a vehicle or not, the frame rate is so bad we're just walking in super slow motion, kind of like this. Kind of like that, but a lot worse. Can you imagine walking that back and forth and you're trying to tend to your lumber? Can't walk like that. No, it's intolerable. So I sold it and put this in instead. Let me show you the fencing that I used. This right here. I used only 6 of them, and by the way, the first one you purchase is only 1 slot. So the old log holder, the largest one, which caused the very bad frame rate, with just only 6 logs piled up. And the more logs you put on, by the way, the worse the frame rate gets when you get close to it. Is 2 slots compared to the 6 slots which I used to make my own. The trade-off is worth it, wouldn't you say? Because there's no frame rate loss, and this is how close you would have to get. Keep going. Right about there is when it would start, and as you're backing up, it would look like this. This is what it would look like. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then the zoom was like this. This is how it was to zoom in once the frame rate. I mean, are you kidding me? No, it's supposed to be like this. Nice and fluid. Backing up. Pulling forward. Not like imagine me now pulling forward with the log holder mod. And I'm not trying to make fun or talk bad about the person who created this mod, because I'm sure there's a fix to it. And if they happen to hear about this video or they're watching this video, maybe it will, let them know that, hey, it needs to be dealt with. And I'm sure it's an easy fix. But as soon as I would get this close, this is how it would be. Look, and I'm not exaggerating. And of course, I'm doing this the best I can to represent what the frame rate loss was like. Look. That's ridiculous. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but that's how it was. So I sold it, created my own, and that's why you see the dirt is, the grass is gone underneath. So once I sold it, I used it as a guide to put down the first fence, the second fence, and then I went over here, and it was just like what the other one was like. It had a staggered. It was just like that. Used it as a guide, and then it worked out perfectly, and I was pleasantly surprised at how well it worked. So the purpose of this video then is to show the good prices now that I'm getting on my lumber, because it's wintertime and that's when the markets are best. That's just how it is. So we got a couple of them here. I bet you I get for the both of these $3,500. And you're probably going to say no. Yeah, watch. Woohoo! 3,073. What a nice little profit for those 2 logs. And those weren't even that big. It's because you got to wait. And this is seasons, by the way. I'm not sure if it's like this for the regular version of the game. It's probably not. With seasons, there's markets, and The markets change depending on what time of year it is. Naturally. Well, let's grab a nice size one, and I'll bet you I get like 3,500 for it. I'm really banking today. Banking on making money. This one right here. Zoom in. Get a good handle. There we go. One more time. It's kind of hard to get that top one in there, isn't it? It's alright. I got thousands of hours with this device. I wasn't always that good. Literally about 2,000 hours, I'd say, with this front loader attachment. Law fork grabber. Grapple. It's an all-purpose grapple fork, if that's the right word for it. Oh yeah, I bet you I get about maybe 4,000 for this one. $26.90. Well, you see, that ain't bad. Maybe I should have chopped it in 2 longer lengths. So I'm gonna find one similar, chop it in half, and see if I get a better price. This one, where is it? It's kind of hard to tell which one it is. Wow, look at the size of that one. I wonder if it's more, if there's going to be more of a profit if I chop this one in 2. I'm going to chop this one in 2 and see what it says. We'll know. If it's not at least 4,000 by itself or 5,000 chopped in half to 2 nice lengths. You never know. I'm assuming that's going to be best. $39.48. I wonder if that would have been the same price. Probably, yeah. Would have been the same price probably if I had just left it alone, which is good. But I know there is a cutoff. About 8 feet is what you want for a nice price. If anything less than 8 feet, the sawmill doesn't like that. They'd rather them be at least a certain length. Anything less than 8 feet, and I believe your profits go down by quite a bit. That's just a guess. I bet you I get about 3,500 for this one. $32.38. Wow, look at that. I'm making some money, and I've hardly even touched. Well, yes, I have. I have made a nice dent. But I still got quite a bit to go. So, having fun, selling lumber to the sawmill, making nice money based on the markets. There's the windmill off in the distance, which, by the way, does make more money the more windy it is. Today's forecast calls for some nice wind. I expect some nice profit off that windmill. Lots of sun tomorrow. I expect a nice profit off my solar panel. Let me show you in the garage. My solar panel. That costs $150,000. That's how much it costs to sell it. Of course, I'm not going to sell it. Because if I hit the X button, there's nothing that says, "Are you sure?" It just automatically sells it back to the shop. And believe me, I've done it on accident before. It's not fun. Okay, it says $6.60 an hour. I believe that's for the new farmer version. I'm on Start From Scratch, and that's actually down to about $440 an hour. Average. Could be a little less, could be a little more based on how much sun there is. And the windmill says $500 an hour. That's for new farmer. I started on Start From Scratch. I found out I'm only getting about $200 an hour. Sometimes less than 200, sometimes only $60 an hour if there's not a lot of wind. Up to, I think, $200 an hour if there's a lot of wind. So it varies. And that's on the hardest difficulty. On the hardest difficulty, there's a lot more things that are in the game that you didn't even realize were there. That's why it's so much fun. It becomes so realistic that if you think that it might be in the game, but you're not sure, tell yourself, yes, it probably will happen. Like leaving your vehicles out in the rain. It's going to rust them out. It's going to cause your repairs to go up a little bit more than they should. Yep. It's all there. The most realistic farming simulator game ever made. Everybody have a great day.